kids! Welcome to our lesson for today. So we are so excited to be doing this lesson today. So remember, we're going to start with what we did last time. So last time we talked about how Samson went on a rampage and he did all of these crazy things. So the first thing he did was he captured 300 foxes and then he tied all of their tails together and then he put a torch under them and then they caught fire and he released them in the Philistines' harvest fields and they burnt down all of their crops, everything, and they even burnt down a vineyard. And then the second thing that happened is that he killed 1,000 Philistines with a jawbone of a donkey, and he was able to kill 1,000 Philistines alone by himself. Yes, and then another thing that happened is that he ripped the gates of the city of Gaza. He ripped all of the gates, a huge gate along with its frame, and then he walked up a hill on his way to Hebron. And he just walked away like that, carrying a whole giant gate. So now we're gonna see what happened with Samson.
So years later, Samson fell in love with another lady who was also a Philistine, and this time round her name was Delilah. So Samson fell in love with this lady, and then the Philistines heard about it, and the Philistine rulers went to Delilah and they promised her to reward her like wholesomely. They promised a lot of silver, more than 1,000 pieces of silver. If only she could get the true reason for Samson's strength.
Now Delilah was very beautiful, but she was very, very greedy. So she got very excited when she was promised all of this silver, and she was very determined to get the secret. So the next time Samson came to visit her, she asked him, "Tell me what it is. Tell me what it is that makes you so strong. How can I make you as weak as any other man? And how can I tie you down?"
And so Samson told her, "If you tie me up with 7
new bowstrings,
then you're going to make me as weak as any other man." And so Delilah thought that she had gotten the answer, and she called for the Philistines and hid them. And then she took, when Samson was asleep, she took 7 new bowstrings and then tied him up down. She tied up Samson. And then she screamed,
"Samson, Samson, the Philistines are coming, the Philistines are coming." And Samson woke up and he ripped his hands free of the bowstrings as if
nothing was tying him.
As if it was nothing. And he defeated the Philistines. And Delilah was upset.
She was
sad because now she was telling him, "You lied to me. You did tell me the truth." So she asked again, "Tell me the truth.
What is the secret to your strength? How can I tie you down?" And this time round, Samson told her that if you tie me up with brand new ropes, then you're going to make me as weak as any other man. And so that is what Delilah did.
She tied him up with rope and then she shouted, "Samson, Samson, the Philistines are coming, the Philistines are coming." And Samson woke up and broke free of the rope.
And as if nothing was tying him. And Delilah knew that
you have lied to me again. And so she told him, "You've already lied to me. You've lied to me again. Please, truly, please tell me the truth. What is it that will make you as weak as any other man?
And how is it that I can tie you down?" And this time round, Samson gave her another answer.
She said, "If you take my hair and braid it and weave it into a loom and then tie it down with a peg, then you will make me as weak as any other man." And so that is what Delilah did. So while Samson was asleep, she wove his hair into a loom and then tied it with a peg, and then she yelled, "Samson, Samson, the Philistines are coming, the Philistines are coming." And Samson woke up and he took the whole loom and he just ripped his hair out of it like it was nothing. And Delilah was so upset.
She was very angry because she realized yet again Samson
had lied to
hidden
her
the secret to his strength from Delilah. And then Delilah, but remember, Delilah was very determined and she had set it in her heart
to get
in her mind to get the silver. So she didn't mind to what extent she was going to go, but Samson was already tired because Delilah kept on nagging and
tormenting him day after day. She kept asking and begging, and then she pouted and she said, you don't love me, that's why you're not telling me the truth. You don't love me. And she begged, and day after day after day she was just asking and Samson got tired. He was so tired and he was so tormented that he finally gave in, and he told her the truth, the real secret to his strength. He told her
that my hair has never been cut from the day that I was born, because I was set apart as a Nazarite for God. And so my hair has never been cut. But if you cut my hair, then I'm going to be as weak as any other man.
Yes, because my vow to God will have been broken, and I will just be like any other man.
And so this time around, Delilah realized, I think this is the truth.
Yes, he has finally
told me the truth. And so Delilah sent for the Philistine rulers, who by now are already doubting, because all the other times she had called them, but it has not been true.
It has not been true. But she convinced them and told them, for sure this time I will hand you Samson, and he will be weak and he will be helpless. And now the leaders were convinced, so they came. They even came with the silver. Yes, the silver they had promised Delilah, they came with it. And Delilah hid them in a room, and then she called Samson and she lulled him to sleep. And Samson fell asleep on her lap, and then she called some man and told him, come and cut off his hair. So he cut off Samson's hair. And then Delilah looked down at Samson's shaved head, and then she said, Samson, the Philistines are coming. And Samson stretched and he woke up, because he didn't know what had happened. He was waking up to fight the Philistines.
He did not realize that his strength had left him, because his hair had been cut, and so his vow to God had been broken. He did not realize that. But because his hair was not there, he was not strong, he could not fight the Philistines, and so the Philistines were very happy.
They were very happy.
They grabbed him and they tied him up,
and they took him to the city of Gaza.
And there they blinded him and they put him on chains.
And then they threw him into prison, where he was to grind their grain. And Samson had been defeated by the Philistines.
And so sadly, that is how Samson lost his hair
and his strength.
And that is because he trusted someone else, an enemy with his truth. So remember, children, that the enemy is very tricky and very cunning, and he will use the things that we like.
So he will come and he will try and woo you, and he will try and use the things that you like so that he can get to you. Because Samson
liked Delilah, and that is what the enemy, and that is what the enemy used to actually woo him and to get him to tell the enemy the truth, and that is how they destroyed Samson.
So we need to be very careful not to be wooed and wowed by the enemy, because he will always try, and we need to be very, very careful, and we need to always focus on God and be careful so that we don't end up in trouble.
And remember to always ask God for help anytime, because God will always give you the right decision and the right advice. When you seek God, then God is going to give you the right advice. You're going to get like what you're going to do is going to be the right thing. So now we're going to stand up and sing this song. So let's all stand up and let's sing this song.
So we just learned about Samson and Delilah, and how Samson allowed himself to get tricked by his enemies, and then he ended up getting defeated. So now we're gonna sing a song that's going to remind us to hide under the blood of Jesus, so our enemies cannot harm us.
So we are not exposed.
So we're not exposed. So everybody stand up, help us sing this song.
Under the blood.
kids, now remember we've just talked about how Samson revealed his secret to Delilah. But it took her 3 tries before he told her the truth. So now we are going to make a chain link, and that is because every time that Samson told her something new, it led up to him being in chains in the end. So we're going to make a chain link, and for this is actually really easy. So we're just going to need 1 piece of like a manila paper, and this is what we're going to use to make our chains. So first we need to cut this piece of manila paper into strips. So we're going to fold it in half lengthwise. Fold it in half lengthwise. This is just so that our chain links are longer. Then take your scissors and cut in a straight line the half that you just folded. Then fold these 2 pieces in half again. And then cut these 2 pieces. So now with these strips of paper that we have 4 chain links. So you can make your chain link longer by folding these pieces in half again and then cutting them, which is what we had already done. So now we have about 8 chain links, and they're very thin strips of manila paper. And this is what we're going to use to make our chain. So we're going to take these papers, and on our chain link we're going to write down all the things that Samson told Delilah leading up to him being in chains. So the first thing was tie me with 7 bowstrings. So we're going to write 7 new bowstrings. So that was the first thing that Samson told Delilah to use so that he might be weak, but that was a lie. So now the next thing he told her was tie me with brand new rope. So we're going to write brand new rope. But this was another lie because he still did not become weak. So now the next thing on the chain link that we're going to write is weave my hair into a loom. Because remember, Samson told Delilah, if you weave my hair into a loom, then I will become as weak as any other man. Yes. Weave my hair into a loom. And then remember, after 3 tries, finally Samson told Delilah the truth, and the truth was cut my hair. So that's what we're going to write on our 4th chain link. Cut my hair. So now all of these are going to help us remember all the 4 things that led up to Samson being in chains. So now that we've written that down on our 4 strips of paper, now we're going to make our chain link. So you're going to take all of your strips of paper, and you're going to start with one that is not written down on, and you are going to curve it till you have 2 ends touching, and then you're going to staple those 2 ends.
Yeah, it's like you're making a circle.
Yes, it's like you're making a circle. So you staple those 2 ends together, and you have 1 link of a chain. So then you take your first first chain link that was written on, the one that says 7 new bowstrings. And you take that and you loop it through your other chain link and then staple. Then you take a blank strip of paper, same thing, carve it like you're making a circle, then staple. Then another one that is written on, the second thing that Samson told Delilah, brand new rope, and staple. And then an empty one, and staple. And then the third one that is written on that says weave my hair into a loom, and then staple. Then a blank one again, and then finally the last one that says cut my hair. And because Samson told Delilah this secret, he ended up, in the end, he ended up in chains.
Yeah.
So now we have our long chain depicting all the things that led Samson into being in chains.
Yeah. So Samson was chained.
Yes. In the end, after revealing his secret, Samson was chained. So this craft will remind us that Samson should not have revealed his secret in the end, because now he ended up in trouble and he ended up in chains.
Yes, and also when children, you need to remember that it's not good to lie and it's not good to do the wrong thing, because every time you do the wrong thing, or maybe you lie, you're actually adding to your chains. Yeah, and it's not right. And you need to pray, because when Samson prayed and repented, he was able to break the chains, and his strength came back, and he was able to push the pillars and they fell down. That we're going to find out that in our next lesson. But now you need to know that every time you tell a lie, or every time you make a mistake, you're just adding up to your chains. So always do the right thing, and remember to always ask God to help you do the right thing. So that is it for today. Until next time, bye.